Hello everyone, Darus Skybound here. Now patch 5.4 just completely destroyed the gathering collectible system for miner and botanists, and that seems pretty scary, and that's the bad news. The good news is it's easy, it's simple, and honestly it's better off. So let's just go over the whole new thing so we can do this easy. But first, let's go over how to gather collectibles as a fisher. Just catch a high quality fish. That's all you gotta do. And now back to mining and botany. Now first and foremost, how do you start collecting with the new system? And that's pretty dang simple. They have separated normal items from collectible items in both crafting and gathering. So all you have to do is start collecting. Literally click the button that has the collectible. You'll see that with the symbol, with the little box symbol, that means collectible. Once you click that, it starts the HUD and you can start collecting. Now once you click that button and you open up that HUD, things look like they're about to get hard. They are not. They are about to get easy. Now immediately, one thing to note is the integrity system. This is literally the wear system. They did not remove it, they just changed it to integrity and completely tied it down to gathering attempts. So every time you have like +2 gathering attempts with a basic, a gathering node or something like that, they also increase the integrity attempts. So that's pretty tied together right now. The only thing you have to remember with integrity is to not let it hit 0. Integrity is also the number of collecting attempts. So once you have it high enough collectability, you can collect more or try to get that number higher if you want. Next we'll cover the moves. I really don't have to go that in depth with it because it's so simple, it's very easy to follow. So first we have Scour. That's your basic hit. It's based on your gathering ability compared to the difficulty of the item you're trying to collect. Basically, Scour is your 100% normal hit. Next up in the middle you have Brazen. Brazen is your gambling move. It can be half better or half worse, but it's only if you want to gamble on that. Then on the far right we have Meticulous. Meticulous is special. It is 75% potency compared to Scour, but there is a chance that you do not use integrity. So Meticulous is actually more of a gambling move than Brazen because it has lower hit, but there's a chance that you don't even pay for it. Now in the bottom left, you'll see the icon for the move Scrutiny. Scrutiny improves the collectability of the next move you use. It is determined by your perception, and I think it's kind of a set value instead of percentage. So using Scrutiny might actually offset the kind of gambling risk to reward factors involved, so it might make the other two moves less of a gamble and much more beneficial. Alright, so next up we have Collector's Intuition. This is a chance to gain a bonus to collectability based on your perception rating. Basically this means this is your critical hit rate, determined by your perception. From what I can tell, this seems to be about a 50% increase to potency. Next up is Collector's Standard. This will light up occasionally while you're basically gathering collectibles, and what happens is this removes the negative consequences of Brazen and Meticulous, basically meaning you have a 100 to 150% potency for Brazen and a 100% potency for Meticulous. So keep your eye out for this buff. That basically means that the gambling moves are no longer gambling, but literally just as good with Scour, but with benefits of either possibly more potency or possibly not even using the gathering attempt and integrity. Now another great thing about this HUD, other than the fact it just shows your collectability with each move, is you can also see what Scrutiny or Intuition will do to a move. So you can plan ahead to see if this is what you need to get, or maybe if a critical hit would save the day for you. So you can click these boxes to see the effect of either or both. Now there's just one vital thing to cover about this HUD before we finish with it. And that is in the very bottom left, there is a question mark. Clicking this button will give you incredibly in-depth information to many things, and it's even how I understood more about the Collector's Standard. So if you are stumped or don't understand a move or something else, just click the help button in the bottom left. This HUD has incredible amounts of information with it, and it was very helpful for me to make this video for you using that. Now the final thing I'm going to point out about this HUD, and a very important bit of information that you should know when doing collectibles. In the top left, you will see the gathering chance that when you do collectibles. So when you try to collect, that is a chance that you will get a collectible item. Now, if it's lower than 100%, you can still use a gathering enhancing move to increase that percentage. It is still possible to do that, so do not forget that if it's not 100%, that you can still increase your gathering chance to make sure you get that collectible you work so hard to get. Now the final thing I'm going to go over about this HUD is two moves that are not on this HUD that are very important to know when dealing with collectibles and the collectible HUD. And that's two moves missing from it, or rather one move, but one for botany, one for miner. The same move, different words. And that is Solid Reason and Ageless Words. These are buffs that increase your integrity by 1 but cost 300 GP. Now, the way they work is basically the equivalent of single mind and utmost caution back in the old way of collectibles, but instead of two 200 GP moves, it's a single move for 300 GP that gives you both wear and gathering attempt, since they're kind of the same thing now with integrity. So it's actually more beneficial for us this way, but do not forget them because they are not in the HUD, but they might be critical for your collectability. Alright, that covers all the collectability moves and the HUD, but there's one final thing to go over, and that is to make sure you're looking at what you're after with collectibles. There's various ranges for various rewards when it comes to collectibles. There's a lower reward, a middle reward, and a top tier reward if you manage to get 1,000 collectability. And you should also judge it based on how many you can turn in with collectibles. If you have a 900 and a 1,000, but it takes you an extra move to get to 1,000 collectability, and your 900 collectability you get twice, you might be able to get a few more points turned in. But if there's a limited number, you might only want those 1,000 collectability items. Now, if you look at custom deliveries, the requirement to turn in is much lower than just your basic turn-ins. You can turn any number in, but you only get 12 turn-ins a day when it comes to the custom deliveries, and you have to do it between 2 different NPCs. So if you have no idea what custom deliveries are, I suggest you look that up, because the best way to gain rank and skill and points and levels and all that stuff is through the custom delivery system, which is completely awesome. So if you're new to this and have no idea what I'm talking about, look up how to start the custom delivery quest lines for all these NPCs and characters, because they have the best turn-ins for collectibles. Alright, so I feel like I've now covered everything I can about collectibles and the new collectible HUD. Now remember that these new updates completely obsolete any old guides, so if you ever check for a Final Fantasy XIV guide in collectibles or need some more help from another angle, make sure you check the date, because old guides, even my own, are now obsolete, so check the date and make sure it's past 5.4. Well, that about wraps up this video. I hope it was a big help to a lot of you guys learning collectibles and figuring out this new system we have in 5.4, but I feel this was a really big improvement in the long run. Now, if you enjoyed this video, or if it was helpful to you, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, or just view my other videos. I really like the views most of all. But, you know, just keep up with me. Put down some comments if you want some new video content or something, or another guide on something you don't quite understand. I'll be sure to try to get a video on that. And if there's something you don't understand, also leave a comment. I answer a lot of questions down there, so don't worry about it. No matter how small, I'll usually try to answer it. In any case, as always, this is Darus Skybound, signing out.